up in the waiting room, so we'll admit them as they come in. But thank you for being here today. Welcome to the Business Analytics course info session. My name is Abby Welly. I am the program manager for open enrollment programs at Executive Education, and I am joined here with the professors of the three courses that we are going to be talking about today. We have Dave Wheeling and we have Darren Solwood. So thank you both of you for being with us today, and we'll hear from them a little later. So I just want to mention an agenda for the info session today, kind of what it is that we are going to cover. So we are actually going to be talking about three courses in the info session today. All three of those courses make up what we call the larger certificate of the data storytelling and visualization. So we'll kind of talk about those logistics. But before that, I will go into a little bit about the University of St. Thomas as an organization. I'll talk about also executive education, who we are as a department within St. Thomas. I know some of the names and individuals that are in here, you might be familiar with our courses, and some of you, this might be kind of your first introduction. So I'd like to talk just a little bit about who we are and what we offer. I'll hand it over then to our two professors who are going to talk about those three courses that make up the certificate series. I'll take back over, talk about logistics, and then we'll answer any questions that you have. Carly, our marketing manager, she just mentioned in the chat that you can post any questions that pop up in our chat there. I'll kind of leave space at the end and I'll scroll through our chat and, and then Darren and Dave can kind of answer those as necessary, and you can answer any other or ask any others that you might have. So, all right. First thing I want to do is just talk a little bit about the University of St. Thomas. So the University of St. Thomas, if you're not familiar with this, I think many of you are from Minnesota, but in case you aren't, we are a private university that is located predominantly in St. Paul, Minnesota. We actually have three campuses. As I mentioned, St. Paul, it's our largest one. It's where the majority of our students take courses. But we also have a campus in downtown Minneapolis, which is actually where we are located and where these courses will be hosted. We also have a campus in Rome that I think a lot of people find interesting as well. So a lot of our students take study abroad programs at our Rome campus. St. Thomas has been around since 1885, so it's got a long tradition of higher education. Who we are as at Executive Education. Here at Executive Education, we offer short professional development certificate courses for professionals. I like to describe executive education kind of in two branches, although we work together in our, one big team. But we kind of have two different sides of executive education, and that's kind of what you can see here on this screen. So we have first our open enrollment programs, and that's what we are offering these courses through. So these are our courses that are, already scheduled. Anyone from the public can enroll in them. They're usually short, somewhere between 1 to 5 days. We offer online and in-person versions, and depending on the course, those formats are a little bit different. So those are our professional development courses within the open enrollment side. We also have a custom side that might be relevant to some of you that are on the call today. Those custom programs are when organizations partner with us, and we partner with you, and you can take one of our open enrollment programs, if there's one that you already like and the content is what you're looking for, and we can offer it specifically to your organization and your company. We also can create a brand new course for you. So we can partner, you and us, and then we'll find a professor that fits into whatever it is that you're looking to offer for your team, and we'll cater that course directly to you. So I will post my contact information later in the slideshow today. If you're interested in a custom program or you want to offer any of these courses as a custom program, reach out to me and I will put you in contact with our director of our custom programs. His name is Andrew Claude. So it's a little bit about the two branches of executive education. If you hear open enrollment and you hear custom, that's kind of what we are referencing. All right, I am now going to hand it over to Darren. Darren will talk a little bit about our first course, the building dashboards and visualizations. Dave will take it over for a second, and then they'll kind of, talk both together about the third one. So Darren, thanks for being with us today. I will hand it over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Abby. So welcome everybody. I'm glad there's several people here. Please, if you have any questions, put them in the chat. Certainly want to cover anything that people would have questions about. Um, I'll try to give a high level here. I'm really passionate about this. It was something that I saw in my corporate career as well as many, as far as how you um, kind of get up the ranks, how you become more successful. All around, how do I effectively present data and insights and then build that story? And so that's kind of what this entire series is centered around. This first class is what I'm going to be teaching, and it's a lot of the what I'll call hands-on, how do you do this stuff, and kind of make your visualizations and or dashboards sing. And so I really feel strongly about the mantra of learn today, use tomorrow. So I really try to drive into the class. Here are things that either I did myself or I've seen other people do that are really impactful, how to do them, give you the examples, the files, whatever else you need to be successful, and take those and you can literally use them the next day. Okay. And I've seen it happen in the past. My intention is to continue to have that happen in the future. On top of that, I always leave it open if you have something specific that you have going on and work, personal life, or whatever that you want to see how to go through and do that. I open it up. So we'll, take your data and actually go and do it. Certainly don't have to, but it can be a great way to kind of get through a very specific thing you're trying to make sure you accomplish. So just to make sure I kind of get through everything, I guess a quick background about myself. I have been at St. Thomas since 2021 full time as a clinical faculty. And so I teach this and other things every semester. So I teach statistics and business analytics at the master's level and at the undergraduate level, and have full time since 2021. I was an adjunct prior to that for, I think it was 7 years. And then I've been doing this executive education, which is kind of like what I liken to corporate training. Gosh, it's probably been 14 or 15 years now. So I got a little history there. Prior to St. Thomas, I did work and actually do all this work in person. So it's a lot of this is leveraging what I saw be successful and maybe more importantly, the mistakes I made and hey, don't do these stupid things that Darren did. And how you can be successful. And so we absolutely will be using Microsoft Excel and Power BI to give you the tools necessary to go be successful and do this work. And then we're going to then marry it with what Dave is going to teach, which is kind of story arcs and everything else, which I'll come back to in a second. But the intention is to kind of drill these two things together in the third course. So we'll go through Power BI, Microsoft Excel. Again, you'll have files, examples, case studies for my class, which will be kind of the how to do it. And then we'll turn it over here to Dave and have Dave will actually talk through kind of the high level, how do you, construct an awesome story that somebody will be compelled to listen to and want to go do actual, take that and run with it.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Dave Wheeling. As it says there, I'm an adjunct professor, which means I'm teaching in the evening in the graduate school. And during the day, I worked for the Toro Company. I just retired at the end of December, but for 30 years, I was in charge of forecasting and analytics in the international division. What we'll do is we'll take you, and everybody's a storyteller. Everybody sits around at the coffee shop, at dinner with your friends, with your family, and you tell stories. What we'll try and do is take you from being a storyteller to how to craft a narrative, how to put it together in a format that's recognizable and is meant to encourage people and to help them see the point you're trying to get across and help you do better in presenting yourself and presenting your data and your narrative. The curriculum says turn your data into compelling stories that fit your desired narrative. The way we'll do that, and you'll see that under topics and sessions, is we'll look at different ways that storytellers have been telling stories for thousands of years, with the Greeks, with all the storytellers that are famous and use different techniques in order to draw the listener in. We'll go through newspaper writing. I was editor of my high school newspaper. Being able to write a newspaper lead is often very helpful in a business setting. After we talk about that, we'll look at data visualizations and how to bring those visuals that you make, charts and graphs, pull them into your story. Storyboarding is a good way to do that. A lot of storytellers like Steven Spielberg and great filmmakers use storyboarding, and that applies very well to setting up your PowerPoints. We'll roll all that together, and the benefit to you will be that you'll be able to do your written and your PowerPoint presentations better, because we'll work on crafting the narrative and putting a story together that will help you get your point across and give a good presentation of your data. And I will turn it back to Darren now.
Yeah, so our last class of the series will actually be Dave and I working together to kind of pull everything, so to speak, together to have this awesome, successful either executive summary and or presentation you're going to deliver. So the intention is to take all of Dave's, narrative and storyboarding and all that stuff and what constructs a great narrative and a great presentation and or executive summary, and then marry that together with, and here's how you go do that work in either Excel or Power BI, and then take those two things together and then say, okay, now how do we make this sing? How do we make this impactful such that when you deliver it, it'll drive action, you'll get people engaged and in, wanting more information and stuff like that. So the intention is kind of this third class is, okay, let's go and do, right? So let's give real world examples. We'll have case studies. Again, you'll take this stuff home with you. We'll have examples we'll give critiques, right, on what you did well, what maybe could use some work, and how you go and kind of pull this all together. And I would just say that the one thing that I heard at the end of my corporate career was I was such a natural at public speaking. And I told everybody, I go, trust me, if you saw me in my 20s, you would never have said that. So I am a firm believer that great presenters and great public speakers are made, not born. And so I think a lot of it, what we're trying to give you here is frameworks, ways to be successful, such that you are comfortable presenting and or sending out, executive summaries, emails, right? And being successful, in your life, in your business world, in your career. That's what we're looking to arm you with. And, and the other thing I would say is, we're not looking to give you this is how you do it, period. We're trying to arm you with tools to be successful and best practices that you can use. We'll certainly give you presentation styles and things, but it's up to you to kind of say, does that fit or not fit the specific topic at hand, specific audience and stuff like that. And so Dave will also be there. I want to make sure, Dave, is there anything you feel like I'm missing as far as this marrying of the two things together and kind of making sure we're in a good place?
I think the term framework was really good. That's what framework and tools. That's what we'll be giving people. The benefit is that you'll be able to take those and be more effective presenters of your information.
Awesome. Thank you, both of you. And again, to everyone who's attending, if you have questions about specific courses or the certificate as a whole, feel free to put those in the chat. I'll address those, and our professors will address those too in just a minute. But I do want to talk about some of the logistics of the 3 courses. So the first thing that you could notice is we did put the upcoming session dates for each of those 3 courses. So the first 2 we have officially scheduled. The third one, we're just waiting to kind of nail down those final dates. But you can see the Building Dashboards course is going to be on Tuesdays, so 2 consecutive Tuesdays, May 13th and May 20th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. in person. So these courses are held on our downtown Minneapolis campus. If you're someone and you want to know exactly where they are, our address is 1000 LaSalle Avenue. You can find that on the website as well, but just in case you want to check on those. So each course itself is 12 contact hours in case you are, earning hours towards professional development goals at your organization. And each course the cost for it is $15.60 per participant. We do offer discounts for dislocated workers, UST alumni, veterans, and 3 or more individuals from the same company. So if any of those discounts apply to you, again, I'll put my contact information, reach out to me and we can get those. We also work a ton with organizations on tuition reimbursement. We know a lot of companies offer that for their employees that take our courses. So again, just reach out and we kind of work with them to be able to make that happen and make sure you get the documentation that is needed. So I think I kind of covered all of the logistics. The kind of final slide that I talk about is just, what are kind of your next steps? So I put two things for next steps. The first thing that you can do is you can reach out to me if you have any additional questions. If it is content questions, I can forward them along to Darren and Dave. They're always, on hand to answer any of those. Or I put there just, you can enroll online. So that link, it'll pop up in the chat too. You can just go on, you can select the upcoming sessions that you're interested in enrolling in, and you can just do so online. And finally, the QR code that you will see, that's to all of our upcoming sessions. So if you're interested in these and other courses, or another course in the certificate program or whatever, if you want to see everything else that is scheduled, that QR code will take you to all of those upcoming sessions of different courses that we have offered. So finally, I think I kind of covered each of those. Finally, we always like to leave space for any questions that individuals might have. Let's see. Christine, do you have a question that that you would like one of us to answer?
So my understanding is that prices for each one of those classes. It's not for all three.
That's correct.
Okay. I just finished a contract at Ecolab that lasted 4 years, and they're using ServiceNow. And one of the tasks that they constantly were challenging people with was building a dashboard within ServiceNow, also known as Snow, and they call the end user snowflakes. So that's just kind of the lingo in case anyone else has heard that. But I think that dashboard piece would be incredibly valuable to me. I am not working there now. I'm a former employee there from 20 years ago, and came back, and now I'm done. But something just tells me I went to another the gathering of the snowflakes in Minneapolis here a few years ago, and it sounded like more and more companies were adapting ServiceNow. So I'm wondering, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. I love that you're going to make me get in my car and come to your campus and park my butt in your chair, because it's going to force me to engage in the learning process. I hate sitting and watching videos, and to me, I need to be engaging the whole time. That's how I learn. So thank you.
Yeah. Is your question kind of about, is Snow included in the curriculum? Is that kind of what you were wondering?
Yeah.
Darren or Dave, I'll hand it over to you two for that one.
Yeah, so this particular series does not include that particular software. We're always looking to expand into things like Tableau. Snow would be another thing. There's many analytical tools. This particular course will not leverage the specific software. What I would say is using Power BI, which is a very commonly used dashboarding, conceptually the same as Snow. What we're looking to arm you with is not only the ability to use Power BI, but what makes an awesome dashboard? What should you be thinking through? What are the things that make it successful that you could apply to whatever software you're using? But I just want to be very clear that there's no plan of having Snow in this particular class. Maybe at a future date, but certainly I think a lot of the concepts would absolutely apply.
Awesome. Thank you, Darren, so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any other questions from participants, either in the chat, or you can unmute yourself too? I know sometimes the chat is a little funky, but I'll leave another minute and see if anyone else has any questions. Let's see. All right. Okay, well, thank you all of you for joining us today, for learning about these three courses. Oh,
I did have one more question.
Go ahead, Christine.
Are there any job leads that by taking your course, is there opportunities? Are there employers waiting in the wings that are saying, somebody please go learn how to do this so that we can hire them?
Yeah, I mean, that might be, Darren, you might have to help me a little. I can talk a little about the logistics in terms of the networking within our program. And then Darren, you might know a little bit more about the, the larger market for these jobs. But Christine, just to talk a little bit about the marketing within our program or the networking within our programs. I mean, one, that's part of the reason that we do have it in person as well. So that individuals are networking throughout it. Upon completion of the courses, we always invite people who complete our courses to join. We have a LinkedIn group of all of our past participants from Exec Ed. So there's, kind of some networking options there. Darren and Dave, you might know a little bit more about the market itself.
Yeah, well, I mean, so I guess I would start with Christine. I don't want to give you any false impressions that we're gonna deliver, job opportunities at the end of this program, unfortunately, for you directly. Okay.
Yep.
The skills required in this are I would say one of the things that AI is not really hammering on yet, right? You think through the ability to do some of the work, absolutely is an AI skill. The ability to construct a story that's meaningful and impactful and drives action is not an AI thing. So the skills are portable across many sorts of jobs and careers. Analysts, certainly anything to do with, I mean, I use it constantly. I was an engineer, but I always said I was like, by the end, I was a corporate diplomat where I would just be kind of outputting, information on stuff. But it's like when you think through a successful career and being able to present effectively is one of the ways to either get promoted or keep your job that I saw over and over again. The best people that are best at presenting were the ones that got promoted. And in my opinion, the reason that was true was because your interaction with your boss's boss, that was your interaction. It'd either be a well-crafted executive summary in an email or it'd be a presentation you're giving. And so those were the ways that you were giving your brand out to the world. And so the skills are portable to tons of careers, and they're really impactful. I really believe that. I'm not just saying it because I'm teaching it. I mean, I saw it happen. I saw it happen in my own career. Okay, so, but that said, I don't know that are there a ton of jobs that say specifically like, corporate diplomat slash, presenter? I don't think I've seen that particular job title. I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but I guess, Dave, I'll let you expound on what your thoughts are.
The reason that we teach the narrative course at the graduate level at St. Thomas is because industry leaders in the area said, the people that come out of St. Thomas, the people that come out of the University of Minnesota, everybody's good at analytics. The problem is not all of them are good at telling us what they found. So I guess my thought would be to add to what Darren said is if you're out looking for a job and you've got this on your resume, these courses, then you can say, a differentiator for you would be that you've taken a course and you've worked on your skills at not only putting together data, but presenting it so that people can understand what you found. That to me would be a benefit for you.
Awesome.
Yeah, one more. Go ahead, Abby.
Nope, you go ahead, Darren.
Yeah, I mean, so just Davey, that kind of spawned a thought. Oftentimes what you see in like analytics careers, my daughter is in creative digital media, is they have like a portfolio, okay, of past things. I think if you put together a super awesome presentation and or executive summary, you could show that as an example of something you put together and what you would be outputting, I think can be super impactful and super beneficial if and when you get interviews. So I would suggest that is like in the thing you need. I mean, so obviously it's hard to be like, I did this at Ecolab as an example. Ecolab's probably not, thing it's on the up and up for you to share with a bunch of other companies, a specific presentation you did for them. But the concepts aren't specific to Ecolab. So you could find other examples and you could go, create that, so to speak, is what I'm saying. And then just have those as examples here. This is my method. This is what I'm looking to, bring to you. This is how I show that I can be succinct and impactful and drive value to you in a quick and meaningful fashion.
Awesome. Thank you, Darren. Thank you, Dave. Any other last minute questions? I know we just have 5 minutes left, but just want to make sure I'm not missing any that might pop up about the courses. Anyone else? All right. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it for you taking the time to learn about these. I left my contact information up there in case you want to reach out to me directly. Darren and Dave, thank you again to both of you for being here and for answering all of those questions. And have a great day, everyone.
Sounds
Thank
great.
you.
I hope to see some of you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.